Welcome back, one and all, to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall, the director's cut. I'm the Arcane Rogue, and last time, our mission got slotted all to Drek. We barely made it out. Monica didn't make it. Let's get inside. Can't happen fast enough, love. The sooner we get in, the sooner I can get drunk. Okay, Dietrich. I see where your brain's at. Destroy all humans, huh? Just zoom in. Once again, this game is set in Berlin. And, my German, not so good. So, if I mispronounce things, you have my apologies. Amsel? Are you Mr. Johnson, or are you our fixer? Either way, I probably owe you a punch to the jaw. You step inside, and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face, light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses. Paul Amsel, your team's fixer and landlord. Part deal-maker, part information broker. One of the most well-connected men in Berlin. His eyes sweep across the team as he takes it all in, the grim faces, the hard stares. Iger's fury. Monica's absence. I had a feeling. How did she... His face has gone ashen. He swallows. Takes a moment to chew on the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? The run was a setup. 1 minute she was cracking the safe, the next, she was on the ground screaming. I've seen Monica hit black ice before. This was something worse. Glory nods, her motions robotic and spare. Monica died of a biofeedback-induced stroke. That's right. Iger thrust a gloved finger into your chest. And this idiot stood by and let it happen. Let it happen? She jacked in, she screamed, and she seized. By the time we saw she was in trouble, it was already too late. Yeah, because you never bothered learning what to look for. Muscle contractions and microtremors are good indicators of a Decker in distress. I'm assuming you didn't have anyone keeping an eye out for those? No. If you had, my friend wouldn't be lying dead in a basement. Oh, shove off, Iger. We were all on the lookout for physical security, Griffin included. Throwing him under the bus isn't going to help anything. Under a bus is exactly where he belongs. Say that to me again, Iger. Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich. You know that. But you don't have my training. None of you have. What, Iger? Are you mad that Monica didn't put you in charge? You weren't even in the room. Monica was good. She was the best, right? She was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough, and you're gonna get burned. Iger turns to look at the player. I'm sorry, what? Iger turns her focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured all of this out on your own by now. You'd have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Enough, Iger. Amsel's voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough. Iger pushes ahead, heedless of the interruption. Her voice remains measured, but there's fire in her eyes. How many seconds passed between Monica's first convulsion and her plug getting pulled? 4? 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? How dare you? You don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your That is enough. Amsel's voice comes out in a roar, and his fist smashes down on the desk behind him. Iger, you and Griffin can have it out later. But I've had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he'd led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This was supposed to be a milk run. Payback isn't the only reason why we need to find him. We saw something back there, something that we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume that we're all still in danger. Amsel pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed. And to neutralize that danger, we need to know who we are dealing with. Let us review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. Monica lived long enough to say a name. Fjerashvinj. She fought hard to tell us. It must be important. Amsel seems taken aback. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Firewing. This is unexpected. You'll have to forgive me. This brings back many unpleasant memories. Glory raises an eyebrow. The Firewing? The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. He glances at Glory. You are far too young to remember her, of course. But for Germans of my generation, the name Fjerashvinj is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Fjerashvinj was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Amsel takes a deep breath, slowly releases it. There is a haunted look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation, and no end in sight. It was a horror that you cannot begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine that a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually, the Firewing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course. But it was experimental weapons designed by Dr. Vauclair that finally pierced her hide. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire and crashed down into the radioactive wasteland of the SOX. This event was called the Dragonfall. Roll credits. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Vauclair as a hero. Our own Siegfried, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. If the Dragonfall was as important an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised that I've never heard of it. Those early years of the Awakening were traumatic, Iger. Not just on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, a new source of terror for a bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orks and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and the Firewing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all of this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of the Fjerashvinj is a bit of historical trivia, and nothing more. I am no longer going to say war garble here. I'm just going to say the Firewing. I'm assuming that means Firewing. I am moving forward with that meaning Firewing, because I'm done butchering that pronunciation. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Amsel's voice trembles with frustration. No, it doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall is ancient history. The Firewing has been dead and gone for 42 years, but there's one thing I want to do, that I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, then slowly releases it. I will look into this and I will find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? The estate was just a front for whatever was going on in the basement. Amsel nods. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. That facility took serious funds to build. And time. There was more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. And all in secret. The owners, whoever they may be, were none too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? Well, after everything got slotted all to dreck, we were confronted by an orc in military-grade armor. He appeared to be the head of security. That is not much to go on. Do any details about this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that I could look into? Well, he was an older guy for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s, pretty old for an orc. And he'd had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. That is something. I will see what I can find out. Did you note anything else during the run that may be of value? That's all we've got. That's not much. Thanks, Iger. Amsel nods, his face is drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, and a long-forgotten world event. Wait, we're still missing something. Who paid for this run? Amsel looks pained. I do not know his exact identity. I did not set up the run. Monica did. His face reddens. I warned her. I told her not to take the job, but she assured me that it would be a cakewalk, a milk run, if you will. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-state political scene. I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for her cause, anything for the Flux state. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux. And that was all it took. Sounds like Green Winters is our best lead, then. Yes, most definitely. It is clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably gonna rabbit. We need to chase him down before that happens. So we need information on Green Winters, and we need it fast. There was a man here in Cruzbazar, a Turk, named... I'm not even going to pronounce that, says Rogue. We're gonna call him Atlas. He owns a little soy calf shop just down the way called Cafe Zive. This man is also a purveyor of information. I have done business with him from time to time. And, do you think he would know something about Green Winters? Amsel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Atlas. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I did not trust the man. For good reason, it would seem. I'll go talk to Atlas and see what he knows about Green Winters. Very well, tell him I sent you. You sure you want us to do that, Paul? Because I fully intend on putting my fist into his skull repeatedly. I will tell you what I can to dig into the information that you've uncovered already, sparse though it may be. We've gained karma. Puppy. 5 karma, no less. And it looks like we can talk to people. Dietrich, Iger, presumably Glory. We'll talk to Paul last. Let's talk to Dietrich. I said, let's talk to Dietrich. Dietrich turns his head at your approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all of this, there's still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Griffin, welcome. I've got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing, and we've a fallen comrade to drink to. To Monica. Prost. The liquor in the bottle is crystal clear, and as you raise it, you catch an intoxicating whiff of cloves and caramel. It tastes of sweet corn and walnuts with a lingering aftertaste of buttery toffee. You swallow a swig, then return the bottle to Dietrich's outstretched hand. He takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Griffin. What made you choose to come to Berlin? I had my reasons. Such as... Come on, boss. I'm just trying to figure out who I'm working for here. I think I deserve to know that much. A run went bad. My team paid the price. Dietrich raises an eyebrow. Went bad, huh? Like the run we just came back from went bad? Worse. I was the only survivor. That's rough, friend. How'd it happen? We were double-crossed. The run went off without a hitch, but instead of paying us, our client decided to set up an ambush. Miserable bugger. Alright. If what you're telling me is true, how'd you walk out alive? My team fought like hell. We took up the ambushers down, but we all got shot up and I was the only one who survived. Sorry to hear. Sounds like it was a glorious fight, though. So after all this went down, you decided to bail out of the Ruhrplex and head to Berlin. Am I getting that right? More or less. There wasn't much left for me in the Ruhrplex, and Monica made me a hell of an offer. Ah, yes, Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After the moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. It all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know that you two knew each other way back. She was pretty coy about these things. Why do you want to know? Monica was my friend. I cared about her. Dietrich shrugs. I don't know. I guess I just want to get to know her better. There were some areas of her life that have always been a mystery, and if you could shed any light on them, I'd be appreciative. I knew Monica well enough to know what you mean. She did have a mysterious way about her. So what was the deal between the two of you? Don't leave me in suspense. We were friends. Right there with you, and privileged to say so. She was one of the best women I've ever known. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time, and the bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull on the bottle, then tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. Calm down. You don't need to be doing your best, what's-his-face impression. As you start towards the safe house door, a large four-legged form steps from around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog, an enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Pets tend to know. Oh, Freck. Dante. Dietrich shakes his head. Don't worry, boy, we'll look after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Hamsel's eyes well up. He inhales but can't quite catch his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago. Turned into a full-blown hell. Wouldn't stop. Kept... Closes his eyes. That's when I realized something bad had happened. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. We're gonna grab some soy jerky treats off the table and give him one. Dante takes the treat in his mouth, but it's clear he has no appetite for it, and the jerky drops to the floor. He leans into you and looks up mournfully, pressing his ribs against your leg. I guess the dog's going with you, Griffin. Amsel takes a ragged breath and releases it. Then a slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you're finished with Atlas, my friend. With a little luck, he can help us locate Green Winters, and we can get to the bottom of this. And now I think we should all take a moment. For Monica. Spend our karma. Let's do that real quick. Do. You know what? I'll do this off screen. I'll spend karma between episodes. It's our equipment stash. Go ahead and put that in the stash. Talk to you in a minute, Iger. Nice little living space. Talk to Glory first. Glory, girl, why are you hanging out in here? Glory is beautiful in a waifish sort of way, excuse me. Her features are almost elvish in their delicacy, but there's something cold about her that you find slightly unsettling. Yeah, I will agree with that, because every time I look at her portrait, it takes a force of will for me to notice that she has a human ear and not an elven one. My brain just wants to stick a little point on that ear, because to me this reads as elf. What's more unsettling is her chrome. Glory is rocking a heavy loadout of cyberware from head to toe. She looks to be composed more of plastic and metal than she is of skin and bone. Stark? In the shadows, individuals such as this are anything but uncommon. Glory's cyberware is first gen, all of it. Bulky, invasive, practically museum pieces. This chrome was obsolete well before she was born. Griffin. Glory shifts her eyes to you, but her expression is cool and placid as always. Can I help you? I have a question for you, Glory. Of the personal kind. I'm not big on sharing sport, for personal reasons. You understand, I'm sure. The edge in her voice tells you that she's not interested in continuing this conversation. Of course, we all have our secrets, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here. Doesn't hurt to try and build some camaraderie with our fellow runners. Then there's you. Iger glares at you, and you can taste the bile in her stare. She clearly still blames you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? You're wrong about me, Iger. I intend to prove that to you. She stares at you for a moment, then looks away. Best of luck with that, Griffin. Now, please, leave me alone. As you wish. Let's go find out what we can about Green Winters. That'll have to wait for next time. In between episodes, I plan on spending our karma, and I will bring you up to speed after I'm done with that. Till then, I hope you have a wonderful day.